No, you don't understand. Hopper will kill me. Literally kill me if something happens to Elle.
No, that's not Mike.
You'll be fine. We're keeping a lookout. No one will see
That might be Lucas, though. What the fuck?
You're gonna love it!
All he talks about is L this, L that. Okay, we get it.
So, what is the point of Stranger Things Tales of 85? Well, it doesn't need a point. It's purely relying on our invested interest in these characters, so much so that we will just sit and watch any stories as long as it features Mike, Will, Elle, Dustin, Lucas, Max. That's it. And great idea, but just an obvious play on the viewer's nostalgia and wanting to go back to the good old days when Stranger Things was actually good. So I watched it. I can't fight it. I had to watch it. And it's okay. It starts off after season 2, pretty much after Elle closes the gate. And there's just a whole bunch of shit left all over the place. Dead demogorgons and stuff like that. It's a mess. Hawkins is basically contaminated at this point, and there's just leftover biological mess from the Upside Down. And obviously they're going to get tested on, and one of these scientist guys takes a little detour and experiments on these dead creatures on his own. And he brings back one of these things to life. And of course it escapes, and he tracks it down, and just as it's about to die, this creature kicks off a whole new mutated spawn of creatures thanks to these spores. Now we're right in between season 2 and 3, which makes sense as season 1 and 2 are joined, but season 2 and 3 there's this little gap that needs to be filled. We get more content, we can go deeper into the relationships. Elle's still got that wicked shaggy hair that's just growing out, those wild child curls. It's kind of right at the point where they all look their best, right before they start changing in season 3, and before Mike looks like this. Mike. There's no big spoilers here. We know about the Upside Down. We know that the Scoobies are all together, and we know about the relationships. The show gets to fill in all this in-between stuff of the Scoobies. Mike and Elle hanging out, Elle really integrating with them in the world around her, like trying cheese fries for the first time and hanging out at the arcade. I'm making it sound a lot deeper than it is. The show doesn't really need a full recap. It's a cartoon. It's kind of the same template that we've seen throughout the show, and we know what to expect. Not to say that that's bad. That is the blueprint, repeated many times, is part of what we like about Stranger Things. And the Scoobies already a dab hand at this monster stuff by now, so they get to work. Mr. Clark is out for the summer, and Mrs. Baxter's the new teacher. Nikki Baxter's the new kid. Which, do we need a new character? I didn't mind. The great thing about the show actually is we're not having to deal with a bunch of characters we don't care about. Because it's a kid's cartoon, there's none of the new characters that are unnecessary to make it too complicated. And there's very little Nancy and Steve, which is great. Now we just get the core group, so we get to hang out and follow the gang on their quest. And it's fun. You know, these characters are so ingrained in our childhood that we kind of don't mind watching. As long as there's a little link, we'll sort of go along with it. Anyway, by the end, everything is contained, the town returns to normal, and the events quietly slot back into continuity, leaving no major changes to the timeline, which allows the story to sit neatly between season 2 and season 3 without affecting the main narrative. It's like Netflix have got us right by the... They have a loyal audience to these characters. It's like you can imagine if they brought out a video game now where you're playing all these characters. That would have been one of the most successful games to be playing in between these shows to keep the fans plugged in to Hawkins. There's probably a game already, isn't there, that I didn't know about? Holy crap! And let me just be clear, this show is for kids. Okay, it's for kids. You can still watch it, but yeah, it's a cartoon. I will say, it looks beautiful. It's so well done. The animation is stylish, the colors. It actually looks expensive. The camera panning around and the sets, the shots. The kids will enjoy it. And they do keep the characters so spot on. There's different voices, but the personalities are nailed. So it's a great little hit of nostalgia. What I realized during and after watching the show is, yes, I needed that hit. Like most of you, I'm a fan of Stranger Things. So of course I watched it, to get that little fix. But You know, similar to what happens when you break up with someone, you go back a couple of times. It's hard to do a clean break. You need a little taste, then another, and then another. But then after a few times, you're sort of getting used to the breakup. And you kind of start realizing that I'm actually good now. I think that'll be the last taste. But thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for letting me get over it. And that's what this show does. It allows you to get over it. Am I over it yet? Don't know. You know, if the Duffers decided to message me again late one night, would I answer? I don't think I would. Because the show is all of the action, but none of the emotional characters, okay? It's just not enough to keep the adults interested properly. Because we know the success of the show is all about the relationships. By the way, click here for my video on Stranger Things, the failed relationships. You know, no pressure, watch it if you want to. But more importantly than the link for my video is that I realized something. Stranger Things will be back. Stranger Things was Netflix's one and only cash cow. It launched and assisted in Netflix's complete dominance of the streaming market. That's a fact. It was Netflix's most successful show, and it still is today. And I can confidently say, Elle, Will, Mike, Dustin, Lucas, and Max will all be back. Why? Because Netflix will never ever let go of this cash cow. Ever. This cartoon spin-off and any other spin-offs in the works. And we know they have some. Any additional ideas they have for whatever, new cast, new stories, they will likely fail. And when I say fail, I mean it won't like fall flat on its face. The viewers will come, but they won't stay. You can probably imagine that they're annoyed that they didn't double down on the merchandise earlier, as much as they should have when Stranger Things was at its peak. Although to be fair, it's always sort of at its peak each season. It can die down, but when it returns, it will usually be at its peak of TV for that time. And you can sort of see right now they have this plan, this disgusting commercial plan to grab as much cash as they can off the back of this show. Oh shit, little Will? Elle? With accessories? Anyway, with Mikey. Oh shit, Mikey, hell fucking. The only reason I watched this cartoon is nostalgia. But I didn't really stay. I didn't even watch it with my full attention. And you know what? Even the kids won't stay because, you know, it's semi for children, semi for teens, adults a little bit. But due to the nature of the show, it's gotta be a certain type of tone. And Netflix will realize this and eventually they'll just say, shit, we gotta do it. Elle, Will, Mike, we need you guys back. And they'll actually call them by their character names. And guess what? Elle, Mike, Will, the gang, they'll take the call because they won't be doing anything anyway. I mean, you could say Millie Bobby Brown's great and that she'll be doing a whole bunch of films and stuff, but whatever she'll be doing, they will never be as good as Stranger Things. And they'll never be as good of a character as Elle. So, they'll be back. And then we'll all be back and we'll get to see each other. That'd be nice. And knowing the way the industry is going, churning out shit after shit, they're gonna need to come back. It's gonna be crucial to their survival. And I think it'll be sooner than we think. I think it'll be as short as 2, 3, maybe 4 years. We waited 3 to 4 years for the last season anyway. That'll be enough time for them to know that the cartoon shit, the spin-off will be shit, the new cast idea, whatever it is, it won't be that good. I don't even know what they've got planned. I can guess, and we can all guess because we know Hollywood. We know the routine. We've seen all the new films coming out. We've seen all the new shows. We know the pattern. Whatever they have in mind, it ain't gonna be that good. We know it. But like all the classics, all the good stuff they try to remake, it's never as good as the original. And they'll suddenly realize we gotta bring them back. And they know that we'll come back because no matter how much we complain, they know that we're invested in these characters. Elle, Mike, Will, Dustin, Lucas. Anyone else? Max, that's it. We're permanently invested because I would love to see them later as adults to see what they're doing. Yeah, so that's it. That's the end of my video. I don't really have anything else to say. I'll just end it there.